Hey guys, this is the last day I'll ever have this simulator. Just thought I'd tell you a little story about it. I have had this thing for over 10 years now. It's been amazing and it's been on a very, very long journey and a very rocky journey. Started off, my first ever wheel was a Logitech Driving Force GT before we moved in here, before I met Kathy. It wasn't too bad, but it was clipped onto a coffee table and the rug underneath kept moving when I pushed on the pedals. I didn't know anything about sim racing at the time. I just wanted to get away from a controller. I think that was Race Driver Grid, I think I was playing. Very, very early days. But a solution to that was this silver frame. This has been the skeleton of my simulator pretty much from, not day one, but about a month into my sim racing. It had a pole that came up here and held a metal plate which held the wheel, and I had that driving force for a couple of years. This was just sitting on the ground. Came with a little plastic bucket seat which wasn't very good. As soon as you lean back it would tilt the base up and all the screws snapped in it. Not very good at all. So when the Xbox One came out, I wanted the day one release of the Xbox One, but the Driving Force GT wheel wasn't compatible. So unfortunately, I had to get the Thrustmaster TX. I say unfortunately because at the time I was quite upset. It was about $250 for the Driving Force GT, and this was a step up to a $1,000 wheel. It was $1,000 on day one release, the only one compatible with the Xbox. And it's been a rocky road. The first couple of years of my Thrustmaster was very temperamental with driver updates and firmware updates. Very finicky system. You have to push two buttons and push the USB in to get into a bootloader mode, and then do the software, and then it's supposed to update itself. But when you have to do that every couple of weeks, it gets quite tedious. So yeah, I had that for quite a while, but then we had Peter. And when Peter started crawling around, with this being in the lounge room on the floor, there were cables everywhere going to the computer, which was in the lounge room, and our surround sound had cables everywhere. So we needed a solution because Peter just loved them. He picked up cables and chewed on them. We had to do something. So this box, and I'll put some pictures up there, I did, just sat down and thought, what do I need? This whole simulator has been about what I need to complete the job. And so I created this box which has channels all the way through it that hide the cables. Basically, out of the front there is an umbilical cord with two USB 3 cables, 3 meters, and one power cable. That's it. And that runs everything. So under here, I created a box. Oh, can you see it? So under here, we've got the box, got my power bank, I've got two USB hubs, and it's all labelled so I could hot swap at any time. Most importantly, I could tuck it away and everything is connected to that. The wheel, all the cables come down, really discreet, and it, at the time was a good idea, but with USB 3 having a 3 meter limitation, it always had issues. So I always had issues with the wheel, the pedals, and my headset turning off all the time. So that's why I'm going into my new venture. The main reason is to fix all of those issues. The computer's going to sit at the front of my new simulator. Stay tuned because I'm doing videos all about that. So after a while, this pole came out. It was too flexy. There was way too much flex, and the plate that this screws into actually snapped. So I ordered one. Sam from Hyperdrive, this is a Hyperdrive frame, he express posted a brand new plate and arms, and that did the job until I realized it's going to snap again. So after looking at all the aluminium profile rigs and their designs, I actually grabbed a couple of bits more wood and made my own really rigid. It's got so many screws, it's got bracing on all the corners. It's good, but if you look at the filming, there's still that side flex that yeah, we're here to eliminate that. A direct drive wheel would be way too strong for this. It'd probably snap the wood. I've got my phone mounts up here. I've got my TH8A shifter, which is awesome. In Australia, we've got the gearbox on the left, the right side. And yeah, this thing has been absolutely bashed to pieces. Pete's jammed pens and screwdrivers in there, and it's never missed a beat. It's bloody good gearbox is. So yeah, having it on caster wheels means that I can always bring it outside, get all the dust out, clean it out, and bring it back in and make it look brand new again. The pedals, I've had a pretty tough run with Thrustmaster pedals. The potentiometers for the accelerator and the brake were really bad. So the Thrustmaster TX came with a 2-pedal setup, and my 2-pedal box, the brake potentiometer snapped. Oh, it just rotted away, and it was just terrible. Then I got the 3-pedal setup, and I'll talk about that when I open my new pedals. The accelerator had a really, the potentiometer gave it like a flickery, when you put your foot down, the green bar was just all over the place. Then the real Benny Mac reached out to me, one of my subscribers, and yeah, he said he's going to get himself some Hosinkfeld pedals, and he's got these Fanatec V3s. What a difference. Load cell pedal, brake pedal, transforms the way you drive and makes it a lot more realistic. There was a lot of flex in this plate, and I'll put a photo up here about what's underneath the bracing. I've over-engineered this little box and prevented my silver frame from moving. It doesn't budge at all, so I could put as much brake pressure on as I wanted. But we've come to the end of the road, and I'm going to miss this thing. I'm really going to miss it. It's 10 years. I've spent pretty much every day for 10 years on this, and you know, we do a barbecue out here every Sunday. We fill the barbecue full of meat, and it provides, you know, an easy reheatable dinner every night through the week. When I get home late from work, and it means Kathy doesn't have to, you know, make elaborate meals. So I decided, I don't know, it's just sitting out here. I don't want to pull it apart. But I want to recycle the wood. But I'm just a little bit, I'm still in love with it. So I just thought I'd take you guys along for the ride. This simulator, it's done the hard yards. It's been with me all the way. And it feels like how you would feel about a car that you've had for a long time, that, you know, you really do grow attached to it. But yeah, it's time to move on. This bracket up here, I had actually a bracket behind the seat and I had the Logitech surround sound system. So when I first started racing, I was surrounded by just speakers. It was awesome. I had 3 at my feet, the subby over there, had 2 right at my ears, and then I was doing clan racing at the time, and I had 2 speakers down here, my communication speakers. I don't know if you can see that. Let's move around. There we go. So yeah, I got 2 little Logitech speakers down there, and they were my communication speakers. So you could separate the sound in windows, and that seemed like a good idea at the time. I actually integrated it into the design of the chassis. So yeah, gonna miss the old girl. Just hope the new one gives me as much fun. So thanks for watching, guys. Thumbs up if you liked it, down if you didn't. Make sure you subscribe, and exciting things to come. See ya.